You know that feeling when your alarm goes off and you just want to throw your phone across the room? You hit snooze for the third time, drag yourself out of bed, and feel like you barely slept at all? But here's the kicker. You actually got your 8 hours. Your sleep tracker confirms it. You went to bed at 10, woke up at 6. The math checks out. So why do you feel like you got hit by a truck? I'm gonna be real with you. I lived this nightmare for 2 years straight. Every single morning, I'd wake up feeling worse than when I went to bed. I tried everything. I bought blackout curtains, a white noise machine, one of those fancy weighted blankets that cost more than my monthly grocery budget. I even started going to bed earlier, thinking maybe I just needed 9 hours instead of 8. Guess what? Still exhausted. And the worst part? My doctor kept telling me I was fine. Blood work came back normal, no thyroid issues, nothing showed up on the basic tests. But I knew something was wrong, because functioning humans don't need 3 cups of coffee just to make it to lunch. That's when I started digging into the research myself, and what I found completely changed my understanding of sleep. Turns out, the number of hours you spend in bed means absolutely nothing if the quality of that sleep is garbage. And for millions of Americans, that's exactly what's happening every single night. Here's something that's going to blow your mind. A study from Johns Hopkins found that you can sleep for 8, 9, even 10 hours and still wake up feeling like you didn't sleep at all. Because it's not about quantity, it's about what's actually happening while you're asleep. Your body goes through these incredibly complex cycles throughout the night. There are 4 distinct stages of sleep, and each one has a specific job to do. Stage 1 is light sleep. Your brain waves are slowing down, your muscles are starting to relax. You're basically in this transitional phase between being awake and asleep. Then you move into stage 2, which is still light sleep, but a bit deeper. Your heart rate drops, your body temperature goes down. This is where your body is really starting to prepare for the deep stuff. Stage 3 is where the magic happens. This is deep sleep, also called slow wave sleep, and is absolutely critical for physical recovery. Your body is literally repairing tissues, building bone and muscle, strengthening your immune system. If you're not getting enough deep sleep, you're missing out on all of that essential restoration. And finally, there's REM sleep, rapid eye movement sleep, where your brain activity actually increases. This is where dreaming happens, where your brain processes emotions and consolidates memories. REM sleep is crucial for mental health, cognitive function, learning, creativity, all of it. Now here's the problem. If something is disrupting your sleep cycles, you might be spending 8 hours in bed but never actually reaching those deeper stages. You're just bouncing around in light sleep all night long. It's like trying to charge your phone with a faulty cable. Sure, it's plugged in for 8 hours, but the battery never actually fills up. Your sleep tracker might say you got 8 hours, but if you only got 20 minutes of deep sleep and an hour of REM, you're going to wake up feeling absolutely terrible. And this is happening to way more people than you think. The Cleveland Clinic reports that millions of Americans are walking around in this constant state of fatigue, even though they technically sleep enough hours. So what's actually interrupting those sleep cycles? What's keeping you stuck in light sleep when your body desperately needs to go deeper? Let's talk about the biggest sleep saboteur that nobody wants to admit: sleep apnea. This condition affects way more people than most realize, and a lot of folks have no idea they even have it. Sleep apnea is when your airway partially or completely collapses during sleep, causing you to stop breathing for brief periods throughout the night. These breathing pauses can happen dozens, sometimes hundreds of times per night, and every time it happens, your brain has to jolt you awake just enough to restart your breathing. Most people don't even remember these micro-awakenings, but they're absolutely destroying your sleep quality. You never make it into deep sleep because your body keeps getting yanked back to light sleep to deal with the breathing problem. The scary part? A lot of doctors don't screen for this unless you specifically complain about snoring or gasping during sleep. But you can have sleep apnea without those classic symptoms. Some people just experience chronic fatigue, morning headaches, difficulty concentrating, or waking up with a dry mouth. Their partner might not notice any snoring at all. And because it's not diagnosed, they just keep suffering, thinking they're broken or lazy or that something is fundamentally wrong with them. Then there's the whole social media rabbit hole that's absolutely wrecking our sleep. A recent Sleep Foundation survey found that U.S. adults spend an average of 3.5 hours on social media before bed every day. 3.5 hours. And it's not just the blue light messing with your melatonin production, though that's definitely part of it. It's the emotional content you're consuming.
watching triggering news, political arguments, idealized beauty standards, natural disasters. All of that raises your heart rate and spikes your cortisol right when your body should be winding down. Your nervous system is in fight or flight mode instead of rest and digest mode. So even when you finally put the phone down and close your eyes, your brain is still buzzing with anxiety and stimulation. Facebook is particularly bad for this. The same survey found that Facebook users lose an average of 5 minutes of sleep every night compared to people who don't use it before bed. And among people who sleep less than 7 hours, Facebook is the #1 platform they're using right before trying to sleep. It creates this vicious cycle. You're tired, so you scroll mindlessly to decompress, but the scrolling makes your sleep worse, so you wake up even more tired, so you need to scroll more to cope. It's a trap. Your bedroom environment is probably working against you too, and you might not even realize it. Most Americans keep their bedrooms way too warm. The ideal sleep temperature is actually between 60 and 67 degrees Fahrenheit. When your body temperature drops, it signals to your brain that it's time to sleep. But if your room is 75 degrees, your body can't cool down properly, and you end up tossing and turning all night long. Light pollution is another massive issue. Even small amounts of light can interfere with melatonin production. That little standby light on your TV, the glow from your alarm clock, street lights coming through your curtains, it all adds up. Your brain is incredibly sensitive to light, even when your eyes are closed. Studies show that people who sleep in completely dark rooms get significantly more deep sleep than people who sleep with ambient light. And don't even get me started on noise. If you live in a city or near a busy street, random sounds throughout the night are constantly pulling you out of deep sleep. A car alarm, a neighbor's dog, traffic, even your partner shifting in bed can be enough to disrupt your sleep cycle. Most people don't fully wake up from these disturbances, but their brain registers the noise and lightens their sleep stage to assess for danger. It's an evolutionary survival mechanism that made sense when we needed to listen for predators, but now it just means we never get quality rest. Let's talk about something a lot of people don't consider. Your hormones might be sabotaging your sleep, especially if you're dealing with thyroid issues. An underactive thyroid, hypothyroidism, is surprisingly common and often goes undiagnosed for years. One of the hallmark symptoms is persistent fatigue, even after what should be adequate sleep. Your thyroid controls your metabolism, and when it's sluggish, everything in your body slows down. You feel exhausted all the time. You gain weight easily. You might feel cold when others are comfortable. You could have brain fog and difficulty concentrating. But because these symptoms develop gradually, a lot of people just assume they're getting older or they're not taking good enough care of themselves. They don't realize there's an actual medical condition that could be treated. Blood tests for thyroid function are simple and inexpensive, but you have to specifically ask for them. A standard annual physical might not include thyroid screening unless you raise concerns about fatigue. Women in particular need to pay attention to hormonal changes affecting sleep. During menstrual cycles, perimenopause, and menopause, fluctuating estrogen and progesterone levels can significantly impact sleep quality. Progesterone has a calming effect on the brain, so when levels drop, many women experience insomnia or restless sleep. Hot flashes and night sweats during perimenopause and menopause can wake you up multiple times per night, preventing you from reaching deep sleep. And because society has normalized women being tired, a lot of women don't advocate for themselves or seek proper treatment. They just accept exhaustion as the new normal, but it doesn't have to be that way. Here's another sneaky culprit that most people overlook: anemia. If you're not getting enough iron or vitamin B12, your body can't produce enough healthy red blood cells to carry oxygen throughout your system. The result is chronic fatigue, weakness, difficulty concentrating, and yes, feeling tired even after sleeping. Women who have heavy menstrual periods are at particular risk for iron deficiency anemia. Vegetarians and vegans can be at higher risk for vitamin B12 deficiency, since it's primarily found in animal products. But again, this is something that's easily detected with a simple blood test and can be corrected with supplements or dietary changes. The problem is people just assume they're tired because life is stressful or they're not sleeping enough, so they never get tested. Now I want to talk about lifestyle factors that are absolutely destroying your sleep quality, and you're probably doing at least a few of these without realizing the impact. Caffeine has a half-life of about 6 hours. That means if you have a cup of coffee at 3 in the afternoon, half of that caffeine is still in your system at 9 p.m. when you're trying to fall asleep. Even if you do fall asleep, the caffeine interferes with your ability to reach deep sleep. You might not consciously feel wired, but your brain isn't able to slow down enough to hit those restorative sleep stages. A lot of people don't realize that tea, chocolate, some sodas, and even certain pain medications contain caffeine. It adds up throughout the day and lingers in your system way longer than you think.
Alcohol is even worse, and this one surprises people because they think alcohol helps them sleep. Sure, it might make you fall asleep faster, but it absolutely tanks your sleep quality. Alcohol suppresses REM sleep, so you miss out on that critical stage where your brain processes emotions and consolidates memories. It also causes more frequent awakenings in the second half of the night as your body metabolizes the alcohol. People who drink before bed often wake up at 2 or 3 a.m. and can't fall back asleep, or they wake up multiple times throughout the night without remembering it. They just know they feel like garbage in the morning. Even 1 or 2 drinks can mess with your sleep architecture for the entire night. Eating large meals close to bedtime forces your digestive system to work hard when it should be resting. This can cause discomfort, acid reflux, and disrupted sleep. Your body wants to focus on repair and restoration during sleep, but if you're digesting a massive dinner, those resources are diverted. Some people find that eating too close to bedtime gives them vivid, chaotic dreams because their brain is processing the digestive activity while trying to enter REM sleep. On the flip side, going to bed really hungry can also interfere with sleep because your blood sugar drops and your body releases stress hormones to try to stabilize it. So it's this delicate balance of having a light snack if you need it, but not overloading your system right before bed. And then there's the exercise timing issue. Regular physical activity is fantastic for sleep quality, but if you're doing intense workouts too close to bedtime, it can actually keep you awake. High-intensity exercise raises your core body temperature and increases cortisol and adrenaline. It takes several hours for those levels to come back down. Most experts recommend finishing vigorous workouts at least 3 hours before bed. Gentle stretching, yoga, or a leisurely walk are fine closer to bedtime, but save the CrossFit or HIIT sessions for earlier in the day. Stress and anxiety are probably the biggest sleep disruptors of all, and they're incredibly common in American culture right now. When you're stressed, your body produces cortisol, which is meant to keep you alert and ready to respond to threats. But in our modern world, the threats are chronic, like work deadlines, financial pressure, health concerns, family issues, political chaos, and your body doesn't know how to turn off the stress response. So you're lying in bed at night and your mind is racing with worries, replaying conversations, making mental to-do lists, catastrophizing about the future. Your body is pumped full of stress hormones that are literally designed to keep you awake and vigilant. Even if you manage to fall asleep, your sleep is fragmented and light because your nervous system never fully relaxes. Over time, this chronic stress can lead to insomnia, where you start associating your bed with anxiety and wakefulness instead of rest. Some people develop something called orthosomnia, which is anxiety about sleep itself. They become so fixated on tracking their sleep and optimizing every variable that the anxiety about not sleeping well actually prevents them from sleeping well. Sleep trackers and apps can be helpful tools, but they can also backfire if you become obsessive about the data. You wake up, check your sleep score, see that you only got 40 minutes of deep sleep, and then you spend the whole day anxious about your sleep quality. That anxiety carries into the next night, making it even harder to relax and sleep well. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. So what do you actually do about all of this? How do you fix your sleep quality when there are so many potential factors at play? First and foremost, if you've been dealing with chronic fatigue despite sleeping enough hours, you need to talk to your doctor. Not just your general practitioner, though that's a good starting point. You might need to see a sleep specialist.
Push for a sleep study if your symptoms suggest sleep apnea, periodic limb movement disorder, or other sleep disorders. Don't let anyone dismiss your concerns or tell you it's just stress when you know something deeper is wrong. Get your thyroid levels checked. Get tested for anemia. Rule out medical causes before assuming it's just a lifestyle issue. You deserve to feel rested and energetic, and there might be a simple medical intervention that changes everything. In terms of immediate changes you can make tonight, start with your sleep environment. Invest in blackout curtains or a sleep mask to block out all light. Your room should be pitch black. Get a white noise machine or use a fan to create consistent background sound that masks disruptive noises. Adjust your thermostat so your bedroom is cool, ideally between 60 and 67 degrees. I know that feels cold at first, but your body will thank you. Make sure your mattress and pillows are supportive and comfortable. If your mattress is more than 7 years old, it might be time for a replacement. Create a wind-down routine that starts at least an hour before bed. This is non-negotiable. Your brain needs time to transition from the chaos of the day to a state of relaxation. This means no screens for at least an hour before sleep. I know that's hard. I know you want to scroll TikTok or watch one more episode, but the blue light and stimulating content are destroying your sleep. If you absolutely must use your phone, enable night shift mode or wear blue light blocking glasses. But honestly, just put the phone in another room. Read a physical book instead. Take a warm bath or shower, which raises your body temperature temporarily, and then when you get out, the drop in temperature signals your brain that it's time for sleep. Try some gentle stretching or a few minutes of meditation or deep breathing. The goal is to calm your nervous system and signal to your body that it's safe to rest. Be really mindful about your caffeine intake. If you're someone who struggles with sleep, try cutting off all caffeine by noon or 1 p.m. See if that makes a difference. You might go through a few days of feeling more tired as your body adjusts, but your sleep quality should improve significantly. Same with alcohol. I'm not saying you can never have a drink, but if you're going out for drinks with friends, try to finish up by 7 or 8 p.m., giving your body time to metabolize the alcohol before bed. Or experiment with cutting out alcohol entirely for a couple of weeks and see how your sleep changes. You might be surprised. Watch your meal timing, too. Aim to have dinner at least 3 hours before bed. If you're hungry closer to bed, have a small snack that combines protein and complex carbs, like a handful of nuts or a small bowl of oatmeal. Avoid anything too sugary or too heavy. Some people swear by the sleepy girl mocktail trend, which is tart cherry juice mixed with magnesium powder and sparkling water. Tart cherry juice naturally contains melatonin, and magnesium can help with muscle relaxation and calming the nervous system. There's not a ton of rigorous research on it yet, but anecdotally, a lot of people find it helps them wind down. Just make sure you're not chugging it right before bed unless you want to wake up at 2 a.m. to pee. If you exercise, try to schedule your workouts for the morning or early afternoon. Morning exercise can actually help regulate your circadian rhythm because the physical activity and exposure to daylight sends strong wake signals to your brain. This makes it easier to feel sleepy at night. Plus, you'll feel accomplished and energized for the rest of your day instead of wired at bedtime. Address your stress through whatever methods resonate with you. This could be therapy, journaling, meditation, yoga, spending time in nature, talking to friends, setting boundaries at work, saying no to obligations that drain you. Stress management isn't a luxury, it's essential for your health and your sleep. When your nervous system is chronically activated, quality sleep becomes nearly impossible. You have to actively work to bring yourself back into a state of calm and safety. And here's something important. Sleep consistency matters just as much as sleep duration. Your body thrives on routine. Try to go to bed and wake up at the same time every day, even on weekends. I know that's tough, especially if you're used to sleeping in on Saturday and Sunday, but irregular sleep schedules confuse your circadian rhythm. Your body doesn't know when it's supposed to be awake and when it's supposed to sleep. If you need to shift your sleep schedule, do it gradually, by 15 or 30 minutes at a time over the course of a week or two. Sudden changes just make everything worse.
If you've tried all of these things and you're still waking up exhausted, please get a proper sleep evaluation. There are so many treatable sleep disorders that go undiagnosed because people don't realize there's help available. Sleep apnea can be managed with CPAP machines or oral appliances. Restless leg syndrome has medication options. Insomnia can be treated with cognitive behavioral therapy, specifically designed for sleep. Hormonal imbalances can be addressed. Anemia can be corrected. You don't have to just accept being tired as your permanent reality. I want to share what finally worked for me because I know how hopeless it feels when you've tried everything and nothing seems to help. For me, it was a combination of things. I got a sleep study done, and it turned out I had mild sleep apnea that wasn't showing up on basic screenings. Getting a CPAP machine was life-changing. I also had my thyroid checked and found out I was borderline hypothyroid. Once I started medication for that, my energy levels improved dramatically. I overhauled my bedroom, got blackout curtains, a white noise machine, and a cooling mattress topper. I set a strict phone curfew, no screens after 9 p.m. I started doing a short meditation every night before bed to calm my nervous system. And I became militant about my sleep schedule, same bedtime and wake time every single day. It took about a month of consistent effort before I really noticed a difference, but once it clicked, it was incredible. I started waking up actually feeling refreshed. I didn't need to hit snooze 5 times. I had energy in the afternoon without needing a third coffee. My mood improved, my focus improved, everything improved. And I realized that all those years I spent thinking I was just a person who needed more sleep or who was naturally low energy, I was wrong. I just had poor sleep quality, and it was fixable. You deserve to wake up feeling good. You deserve to have energy for your life. You're not lazy. You're not broken. You're just